I think that Ultimate is very good in teaching the end user, and in every bottle you can see the dilution rate for the foam canyon, for the manual sprayer, for the bucket wash. So that's something that is crucial for the end user, because we see every day all the questions through the website. So hey, what? I'm not able to get the marvelous foam that I see in the videos. What I'm doing wrong? So probably dilution rate,
Right.
probably maintenance of the sprayer. You are not reaching the right pressure to get the right or the proper foam. That's so it's a company that we like a lot, because one important point I think is that they are kind of friendly, environmentally friendly, and
Right.
they have science, and they show and they apply the science into their chemicals, and we see that the results are fantastic.
Hi, friends. Welcome to the Opti-Coat podcast, where we share stories from detailing professionals and highlight cutting-edge products, techniques, and tools that'll help your detailing to accelerate into the future. Wherever you're listening or watching this podcast, please follow, like, subscribe, and share with a friend. I hope you enjoy the conversation. Okay, well, welcome back to another episode of the Opti-Coat podcast. Today, we have special guest Ibon with IK Sprayers. He's the director of operations for IK in North America, situated in the U.S., and he's also the manager of product development for IK. Thanks so much for coming on today. How's it going today?
It's great. It's great. I can say that now we are enjoying the summer in New England. That is, it's kind of difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so great to be with you and to share something about IK and connection with Opti-Coat. That's a great opportunity to talk and to chat a little bit about what is behind the scene, right? Is behind the
Absolutely.
sprayers and yeah.
Great. Well, would you just start? We'd love to hear a bit about your story. How did you get into the world of cleaning and detailing, and as far back as you want to go with that? We'd love to hear how you started and got to where you are.
All right, so it's a long story. I don't know if we have time enough to to talk about it. No, it's everything started like back in 1959 is when we started the operations in the north of Spain, was the headquarters of IK. And the company is called Goisper, right? Is the company that is um, it has completely different business under one umbrella. We could talk a lot about it, but yeah, mainly we have I would say three different business. We have like the manufacturing of components for machining tool, mainly for the can maker industry, for the automotive industry. We have like the spraying division, that is the one I joined like 20 years ago. And then we have the biotechnology side, in which we produce biofertilizer and some professional insecticides. So as you can see, completely different worlds. Sometimes we try to look for synergies. It's not easy. It's not easy. Apart from that, well, we are that's a big group. We're about four to 500 people doing business, I would say, all over the world, about 110 countries all over the world. Markets, like you have Africa, for example, that has nothing to do with North America, or with the I don't know, the level of industrialization in Germany, for example. So we can we try to touch every single market, looking for opportunities. So the origin of the spraying division that I represent was coming from a completely different world. Was the agriculture and landscaping, but mainly agriculture is where the starting point was the production of backpack sprayers for agriculture. So yeah, after years opening new accounts all over the world, you can imagine. I'm talking about 60 years ago. It was not easy to travel, so we were selling in very countries all over the world. And as I said, one of the probably the most important point was we were able to do some kind of or manufacture a universal product that could work everywhere, made with high quality components. And that thing was the key point, because especially when you're in the field, especially for a farmer, it was crucial to have a good tool, something that he could use it for hours. I'm talking about some of these guys, they spray for 8 to 10 hours, So
Okay.
it was crucial to have something made with good components, and that was the way we started, and we keep on, maintaining the same standards of quality. So that was the starting point. From agriculture, we moved to landscaping, completely different worlds. I would say less professional, but again, we try to provide the same features, the same standards of quality that we were using in agriculture to the landscape. You don't really need it, because I mean, as you can see it here, for the home use, you don't really need to have like a satellite or like a rocket. You just
Right.
need a cheap sprayer, for spraying a couple of times per year if you're lucky. But we wanted to keep on doing or maintaining the same philosophy, of doing and working with high standards of quality, and making products uh, for long lasting. That was the point. So it was probably like 40 years ago when we thought well, there are other kind of chemical products that they are more aggressive than the agrochemicals or the chemical product you're going to use in your yard, but they require um, other level of materials, of components. So we started with there are some of the SKUs that are not available anymore, because it was the very beginning. But we realized that our product were working perfectly with really strong acid-based products.
Okay.
So we were selling then. So that was when IK was born. Which IK means industrial Kima, and Kima was a model that we have. So it was for landscaping, the Kima. I said, this is for different purposes, for more industrial purposes. So let's gonna call industrial Kima. So we changed the color, we changed the components, and we realized that it was so well known among the people that used to maintain the swimming pools. At that time, I think that this industry has changed a lot too, but they used to spray like muriatic acid. They used to empty the swimming pools, and all the residues, the dirtness on the walls. The only way
Yeah.
they could take it away was with a muriatic acid, with a hydrochloric acid, that kind of thing. So they realized that our sprayers were lasting.
Great.
That was the so we say, hey, let's gonna try to get a little bit more in deep in industrial sectors, and see what is going on in construction, see what's going on in automotive, in pest control. And so that was the beginning of the IK, trying to provide solutions to people that they were using more aggressive chemicals, that they couldn't use like standard agricultural or landscaping sprayers. And well, uh, we discovered like visiting shows and that we should have like different lines for different industries. So we started, and probably the first automotive sprayer was we call it Autoplast. Then we saw that we needed same one for construction, so let's gonna call it the Construplast. So
Okay.
that was a pain in the neck because from the point of view of packaging, and since we are present in most of the big boxes in Europe, the packaging is very important for us because when you are in the south, you need like an eye-catching packaging.
Sure.
So we have been, I have to say, pretty good in in designing the packaging and making it like attractive enough, to catch the attention of the buyer. So it was it was really really difficult, to have like the same product focus on different industries. So at the end of the day, we say, hey, you know what? The most important thing is the chemical. So what if we focus on the chemical? We forget about the different names of the different industries, because acids are acids, high alkalines are high alkalines, solvent-based products are solvents. So let's focus on the chemical instead of the industry, right? So that was when we really thought about IK, and we started with the acid-based products. Then we moved to the solvent-based. Recently, since there's a tendency in the market, which is kind of trendy, the high alkaline products. We have been forced to renew our alkaline sprayers. So that's been the development of the entire range of sprayers. The the moment where we get into the detailing was when we first exhibit at the SHIMA show. Well, we before that we of course we visit some automotive shows, mainly in Europe and in other parts of the world, just checking about the presence of a tool like the sprayer, no? What was the need and what was the used, and so when we set up the company here back in 2016, I decided to participate in at the SHIMA show. I don't know, you've been in the SHIMA show, and I don't think so. It's right now, but I don't know if you remember, close to the South Hall, it used to be like a big tent for all these poor guys that they wanted to exhibit,
Okay.
and the they said like, you are like a new exhibitor. So I still remember with a 10 by 10 booth, with
Uh-huh.
a tester and the 1.5, the phone 1.5. So, we were in the middle of nowhere, I know we were trying. We knew that we have a nice tool, something that create and perform perfect, and something that was able to create foam at a very low pressure. So we say, hey, you know what? Let's gonna do a tester so people can see. Because I mean, from my point of view, it's always been great to show the people what the sprayer can do. It's like it's not just to give a leaflet or a flyer and say like, hey, you know what? No, I mean, for us, always been very interesting to show the quality, the performance of the sprayer, and everything that people can test, is much better as an experience. So we started with, and we were lucky that time because people from the rack company and from Adams, they were like just walking through the corridors and they discover us. So like, hey, what a moment! I mean, what a foam! I still remember, and
Yeah.
so that was the beginning. When I mean, I would say like important players in the detailing industry, they discovered that yeah, there was a small factory in the north of Spain that they were able to manufacture like a quality, especially foamers, you know, because that was something new. And we started with the foamers, but then they realized that you know, hey, you have an assortment of product that can resist the different chemicals in the industry. So that was, I always say the same, will push, you know, IK into the detailing market in the US. That was the beginning, and as I said, after that, as Americans like bigger stuff, like different stuff, so was the starting point for developing like a complete range of sprayers and foamers. You know, we started with manual sprayers, manual foamers. Then they told us, you know what, we should think about something, you know, to avoid the pumping, you know. So we insert the rudder valves into the sprayer so they could connect like an external compressor, always keeping and maintaining the manual pumping. And like a couple of years ago, I said, you know what, we have to develop something like revolutionary. You know, it's difficult because it's a very mature
Yeah.
product. You know, so it's very difficult
Right.
to improve, to develop new stuff. You know, since you know, it's a product that's been in the market for 100 years, and it's difficult to create. But we did with the battery power compressors. So we realized that, and it's something that we have been trying to. I've been trying to keep it in all our applications. You know, the most important thing, and especially in the manual sprayers, is the pressure. You know, I mean, if you work at a uniform pressure, you're going to be able to provide a perfect performance. You know, because what happened with the manual sprays is that you know, you pump it up till the safety release valve pops up, so you have like 45, 50 psi. But once you press the trigger, the pressure goes down and everything changed. You know, like the angle of application, the droplet size, the quality of the foam, everything. So for us, always been important to try to keep the applications uniform. So
Okay.
the
Yeah.
only way we had for doing that was the to incorporate, to attach like pressure regulators, if we can call it like this. You know, it's like gadgets or systems to preserve and to maintain the pressure. So that's been mainly how we get into the detailing business here in the US. It was the I would say the is the temple of detailing, and detailers from everywhere in the world, they focus on what is going on in here. So that allowed us to, you know, to spread our experience and to reach countries that always been so difficult for us. I'm talking about Japan, for example. Japan, not only for Goisper as a manufacturer of sprayers, but for almost everybody, because the way they design, the way they use the spray is completely different. So having that kind of innovative tools allow us to get into very difficult markets. And that one, like China, for example, or Japan or Korea. And nowadays we can say that we are selling IK in more than 100 countries all over the world.
Wow. That's great.
Detailing, detailing is detailing, and that's something for a European is kind of difficult to understand, you know, because first of all, because we have a bunch of regulations that you Americans they don't have here. You can wash your car down the street if you want. We can't do
Right.
it in Europe, you know. In terms of chemicals, some of the chemicals you're using here are not allowed to spray in Europe, for example. So in terms of a market, it's nothing to do. And there's one thing I didn't understand. I saw it in when I was a kid in the movies. You know, when I think you correct me if I'm wrong, but one of the, I would say, important moments in life for Americans is when your dad takes you and, hey, help me to wash your car. So for me, it was like, no way, man. If my father asked me, hey, help me to wash my cars, how much are you gonna pay me? So
There you go.
that kind of things we didn't understand, being there and how developed was this industry, till the moment we set up the company here and we went more in deep in the industry, and we realized that it's a huge business, and it's a very demanding industry that requires uh, new stuff, more ergonomic products, like resistant products. It's a way of living for millions of people in the US. So for us was a discovery. It was like it's huge, and again helped us to grow in completely different markets. Traditionally, we were strong in UK, for example, and in Italy, in the north of Italy, again, because they used to use like very acidic based products. And going back to the starting point, our multi range, the beginning of the IK, was especially suitable for acid based products. So we
Sure.
gained such a great reputation among the acid based product users because of that. So, you know, so that's mainly the beginning of the of our offer, or our entrance into the detailing world.
Definitely. Would you say that IK implements new technologies and advancements with products based off of business to business relationships or directly to the consumer? Who has kind of the
That's
loudest
that
voice in IK's ear?
that's been it's a very interesting question, because for us as a manufacturer, it's very difficult to have direct contact with the end user, and especially the detailing industry was an opportunity for us, because we have the opportunity to be in direct contact, even though if we are not selling to the end user, because we don't do it. We all our operations we do directly to the distributor, to the manufacturer of chemicals. We don't sell to the end user, right?
Okay.
But the feedback you get is constant. I mean, it's like one of the advantages, if I can say it's an advantage, because it's a hard job to. It's like you get the flow of the and the feedback of the users all the time. Especially detailing, people love the before and the after. They record it, they show it.
Right.
Social media runs like this. And the opposite side, landscaping or agriculture, it's so difficult, to.
Sure.
And we can see it. The followers we have in IK, for example, is about 50,000, in comparison to the agricultural one. It's like probably 5,000. So it's very difficult for us to connect with the end user in some industries, but in the detailing, it's perfect, because everybody shows, and everybody loves to show, the job they just done, or the performance they got with the use of the tools. It's very easy, and it's very helpful for us, because you immediately know that the product is working, what the people like, what the people don't like. So it's a perfect, I would say it's a perfect, because you get like an instant feedback.
Absolutely. And I'm reminded that in the detailing world, as detailers, we do get very focused on the process and the tools that we like to use. And sometimes from a marketing and sales perspective, it can be confusing how to properly advertise our services to customers. And I'd love for you to share, if you can, about you mentioned being the manager of the product development and having such a good handle on the sales performance of the different products. How has that mentality affected your business, the industry of manufacturing tools? How do you bridge the gap between the engineering side of product development? This is fascinating, to the end user actually understanding why that product is necessary, and how do you avoid getting into the weeds?
Yeah, that was crucial for us, and we changed a lot our way of um, of going through the different processes of product development, because traditionally, we're like completely separate walls, like the technical department, marketing, and sales department. And as an industrial company like ours, it was like marketing arrived like no, a long, long time ago. It was like was something kind of new, to have a marketing department. It's probably like something like 15 years ago, something like that. So we used to work as a traditional manufacturing company. Everything focused on and technical department. They were the ones that at that time they used to work with the CAD, and they used to design. And we had situations in which they design a very nice product from the point of view of designing, ergonomic, and awarded by certain institutions. And when we have to sell the product, we were not successful. And they ask, so why you don't sell this? It's like, I mean, the user don't like it, because it's probably really nice from your design point of view, but at the end of the day, it's not comfortable enough, or it's not the way they're using it. So we decided to change our way of working, and we decided to join forces. So we create a way of working, like joining the technical department, the marketing department, and the sales department, doing different groups for the different industries we are involved. For the industrial, for the landscaping, for the agriculture, we have different separate teams in which we try to collect information from the end user, and we analyze. We have different levels. So when we present the projects, and the project has to go through different steps. And so it can be an idea that becomes an opportunity. Then we have to see if it's possible to produce it at an affordable cost. So now the technicians, they travel together with the sales guys. They visit end users. They visit the detailing supplies. They they try to absorb knowledge about what is going on. That is crucial for developing the right tool. That's been our main change in the last 20 years, I would say. The way of joining forces. And that, I think, created the perfect approach, and to have the product more like uh, I would say the best tool for that kind of, and also allow us to to create different accessories depending on the industry where we are. Because yeah, we're doing in detailing, but as I said before, the same chemicals are used in coil cleaning, for example, in the HVAC industry. But they need like a flexible hose, because they need to get into the air conditioning units. And so it's crucial, that the technical department, sales department, marketing department, they are all together, and they develop the projects at once.
That sounds fascinating, and it sounds like that would build some team camaraderie and morale. Has that shifted the atmosphere of the company, integrating the different departments?
Yeah, I mean, but it's also tough. It's a tough job because technicians are technicians, sales guys are sales guys. They are two different
Right.
worlds. They are probably more strict sometimes, and of course, I mean, every time you talk about the opportunities, and that means job,
Yeah.
and you know what it means, so that also changed a lot, and in especially in the industrial side, where we thought it was not as demanded as like landscaping, for example. We do with most of the big boxes in Europe for landscaping, for example, and and there, like every 2 years you have to, or every year they have the color of the season, so you are forced to change the color of the sprayers, and but it's just a color change, but in here it's like I need for
Yeah.
the low VOCs. Now they're getting popular in certain industries,
Sure.
and the formulas have changed. You need the new materials. There's a foamer, but you need like foaming nozzle with instead of 100 degrees or 80 degrees, 60 degrees. So
Okay.
this wall, the detailing, or the automotive wall, is very, very demanding, and users, they love to have new stuff every year. So that means, like for designers and for the technical department, that used to be, I don't want to say like slow, but I mean, now the pressure that we put on them is huge, and and it's difficult because all this to build a new sprayer, it's not something that we can do in a couple of months. It's a bunch of stuff involved. It's like first of all, you have to design with. Now it's true that the designing world has changed, and has is completed with a 3D machine, printing machines, and all this. You can even make like functional 3D printing. 3D printing prototypes. That's helping, but then you have to see how the pressure um, affect the different shapes, the different parts of the sprayer. You have to test. Of course, the chemical industry is developing also, and there are new formulas, and how all these um, um, new agents or new formulas or new active ingredients are or could affect the different parts of the sprayer. Then you need to to test the sprayer with the different chemicals under all situations you can imagine. uh, as I said, we sell in more than 100 countries all over the world in completely different weather conditions, like extreme hot and extreme cold conditions. So you need to see how all these chemicals behave with certain temperatures under certain humidity conditions, and so you need like a testing process and testing time that could last for months and years sometimes. So it's kind of tough, to be active and to be fast in developing new products every year, because especially in this mature talking about this mature product, right?
That's fascinating. While you're talking about that, I realized that you're talking about just keeping up with demands and needs, and let alone trying to innovate, something that maybe isn't necessarily a need yet, but something to be ahead of the. And you guys are obviously cutting edge in your technology, but I can see how, as a company, it can be difficult to stay ahead of the curve, let alone try and test and do all these different things just based off of the feedback. So that's quite a world that that many of us, haven't even considered, and you're working behind the scenes all this time um, to be up on all of that. So that's really fascinating to hear about. And I would love to hear maybe how that connects into and correlates with your connection with Opti-Coat, Optimum Polymer Technologies. What has been maybe the start of that relationship, and how does that affect business today?
I was that was curious too, because when I remember, I was the guy that started visiting different shows and different and see where we could find opportunities, and just in the very beginning analyzing the different industries. And so I realized there was a company that they have like a blue liquid that was everywhere, and I was wondering. So we started our relationship with the rack company and here in the US, and at that time, well, I think that they keep on doing business with them in Europe. So that was the first time I started to see this chemical, the no rims, everywhere, and especially in all the detailing supplies. I mean, they are not, as I said. I mean, the market is not like in the US. That you have like detailing supplies in every single city. In there is like you will be shocked. I mean, in countries like France, how difficult it is to find that kind of mainly like 5 to 10 companies that they have all the business in a whole country. So yeah, I saw that the Optimum Car Care, they were in the main, their presence was in the main detailing suppliers in Europe. So we started with to have connections to get knowledge about the world of detailing, talking to different players, users, distributors, and we realized that, and I still remember, when a guy was complaining about, oh, I'm facing problems with my sprayer, and so like, what are you using? "No, I'm using the no rinse." So like, so I was doubting. I mean, I don't think so. I mean, it's a very neutral product, so I don't think so. You could. So I remember, like in the very beginning, talking to one of the distributors in the south of Spain. Um, and I said like, "Hey, Ibon, you know what? You could even drink it." I said like, I mean, it's not aggressive. You could even drink it. So that was that's together with the presence they have in the US, that make me think uh, about about the chemical manufacturers. That, frankly speaking, that was my first try, to knock the doors of all the chemical manufacturers all over the world. Say, hey, you know what? I have the perfect tool for your chemicals. Yeah. So
Yeah.
we have to say, okay, because I mean, chemical manufacturers, most of them, they are not very focused on the. I mean, the core business is the chemicals, so they don't really care about the sprayers. That's a mistake from my point of view, because it's difficult to sell a bottle of chemical, just with a sticker, So if you can show the user, how does it work, that's perfect. You're gonna sell the chemical
Right.
and the foamer, for example, right? So it was tough in the very beginning to connect with the chemical manufacturers, but I have to say right now that the situation has changed completely. Now they are chemical manufacturers. They are approaching to us. Hey, you know what? I need something to spray this new chemical, and I need a better performance. And that was the moment where we have the chance to meet David Godoshi, and and through we met for at the very first time in Automechanica in Frankfurt. We were introduced by a mutual customer, and yeah, we started a really nice relationship, and we are growing. and we are so happy, to be able to test their products and to see, that the quality of the spraying with their products is perfect. So that's been like the first contact with Optimum Carter, and yeah, the only thing I can say is like it's so fruitful for both parties, and yeah, we are, every time we have something new, we contact each other. Hey, you know what? I have this.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, could you please test this new product? So yeah, that's interesting for us, and I think that should be that's the challenge, to have a database of the chemicals that our sprayers support. The problem is that fortunately it's a really long list of chemicals that and sometimes it's impossible, to know. But yeah, we are in the so for us it's a great partner. They have a great product. It's well known worldwide, I would say. Everybody knows about the non-rinse. First, now they are getting into the market with new products with fantastic odors and smells, and
Absolutely. We saw that video a few weeks ago that you had sent of demonstrating the hyper foam in the sprayer, and I could not believe the
yeah,
quality and the thickness of the foam. There it is. Yeah.
yeah. I was, and everybody was asking. So, I mean, it smells wonderfully. What's that? So, is this product, and it's true, and the quality of the phone was. So, it's always. I mean, it's a kind of a science behind, but to get the dilution rate, the right dilution rate, the right sprayer, is crucial, because I mean, doing the dilution rate in the wrong way can vary your application and the quality of the foam. So yeah, and I think that Ultimate is very good in teaching the end user, and in every bottle you can see the dilution rate for the foam canyon, for the manual sprayer, for the bucket wash. So that's something that is crucial for the end user, because we see every day, all the questions through the website. So hey, you know what? I'm not able to get the marvelous foam that I see in the videos. What I'm doing wrong? So like probably dilution rate,
Right.
probably maintenance of the sprayer. You are not reaching the right pressure to get the right or the proper foam. That's so it's a company that we like a lot, because uh, one important point, I think, is that they are kind of friendly, environmentally friendly, and they
Right.
they 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 have they have science, and they show and they apply the science into their chemicals, and we see that the results are fantastic.
Excellent. Now, I've been hogging all the time here, Tug. I'm sure the gears are turning. What have you been thinking?
Well, I was going to say, I mean, I think IK is kind of the standard in detail as far as somebody. I think almost every detailer has, unless they're fairly new, has a sprayer, the multi, or the little ones, or the multi sprayer, the big one, or the foamer. I just feel like IK is a standard. I learned about IK through the rag company, and then those guys talked about it a lot, and so you don't really even have to be immersed in the detailing world, I think, to know about IK. So they just looking at it, I mean, it just seems, and I've got a couple of the spray bottles in the back. Now the original sprayer wore out, so I just put a different sprayer. But man, that thing has dropped, 3-4 feet straight down multiple times, and it's taken the hits every time. I've knocked my sprayer over a couple times. What I need to get is the battery operated. You guys, you make the battery operated for the foam one and the like the multi, right? The big one. Okay.
Correct.
Yes, because I'm not much for foaming. I have the IK foamer with the little valve, the little straighter valve. But I'm just not a foamer. I just feel, to me, and this is, I know everybody's different. To some people, foaming is super efficient, and I think probably for most, it's super efficient. For me, I feel like it slows me down, but I'm a weirdo. But I need to get the battery operated multi, because I hate pumping. And once I found out about the battery operated, or the compressor, I was like, dude, this Schrader valve setup became very obsolete. It's almost like, oh man, this is like 30-year-old technology. Although it's not, it's fairly new. You don't see these sprayers with these things anymore. So, are you guys kind of, maybe talk about IKs? And I think you probably did. Talk about the innovation. Are you guys looking to always, is there something beyond the battery operated, bigger, I don't know what it would be, not a gas engine, but that would be weird.
Well, that's a good idea. They told me like a couple of days ago, Ibon, could you please stop sending new projects to us? Like, yeah, I will slow down. No, yeah, the battery compressor, it was kind of challenging. We always have like a battery power units, especially for the landscaping and for agriculture.
Right.
But again, the challenge in the detailing industry and in the industrial side or commercial side, like the kind of chemicals you're using, are kind of tricky. And for that kind of for the backpack sprayer, for example, you don't really compress the tank, so you have to make all the chemical going through a pump. And people are using like high alkalines, like acid-based products, solvent-based, so you can't use the same pump for the complete assortment of chemicals. So when we decided to go through the project of the compressor, we said like, what, one of the advantages must be like, we can have the compressor in direct contact with the chemical. That has to be, somehow, protected or attached, or not in direct contact. And so that was the challenge, and we did it with the Foam Pro 12. And the priority was the foam, because the demand of air that you need for creating the foam, you need to have, well, 5 things. You need a foaming agent, you need to mix it with water, system to mix the chemical with the water and the air. You need certain pressure, you need a special nozzle. So it's a combination of 5 different things. But the problem of the foam was like, you need to pump it up more often than the regular sprayer.
Right.
And that was, believe me, I was doing a bunch of shows, and at the end of the shows, I used to have my arm like Rafael Nadal, like the tennis player. So yeah, we said like our first priority is like try to, to attach or to incorporate this compressor to the foaming unit. And people like you, Doug, they say, hey, you know what, but I'm not a foaming guy, so I need same, but for a regular sprayer. So that was, we launched it like a year ago. So it's like exactly the same system.
Okay.
Always with the idea of keeping the pressure constant, because if you keep the pressure constant, you're always going to have the same pattern of spraying. That's the main thing. And yeah, we launched it beginning of this year, the eFoam Pro 2. That is a smaller unit. This time it's a little bit different with the compressor integrated in the unit, so
Okay.
not something that you attach it,
Okay.
and you can do both things by changing the nozzle and taking away the mixer. You can convert it into a regular sprayer if you want
Okay.
it. So that's been the development into the
Yeah.
into the batteries process of batterization. So everybody wants batteries everywhere, and
Right.
and it's true. I mean, it's great because you don't have to pump it up, but the
Mm-hmm.
maintenance and the care of the tools is a little bit different. That is something that it's going to take us a little while,
Yeah.
to make the users understand, that it's not something that you can throw it away, and
Right.
that's so funny. For example, when we exhibit at the wall of concrete, for example, because we have sprayers for, for curing compounds, for release agents, for and
Yeah.
the same sprayer, because you meet people like, they are like a contractor that they use the sprayers. They put them back in the backside of the truck, and they don't care when they finish the job, they throw it away, and that's all. But in the
Right.
same show, you met the people that they detail the cranes or the big trucks, and when they say, "Okay, hey man," but they care
Mhm.
about the sprayers. It's like they take
Hold on
good
to it.
care of.
Yeah.
So, it's the same sprayer in two different industries and in two different profiles of user, and so
Mhm.
that's been forcing us to think about the resistance of the sprayers, and this is something that we are working on in the last few years. We have seen potential development of the PPF, the wrapping industry, the commercial color change,
Mhm.
and we see that the needs of the users are a little bit different.
Yeah.
They need different performance.
Yeah.
They have different needs, and we are trying to adapt our designs and our sprayers to that. The
Mhm.
main reason is, even though if you think about the number of installers nowadays in the US is not huge in comparison to detailers, but we've seen that more and more detailers are moving to the or trying to get involved into the PPF and to the
Yeah.
wrapping, because they make more money. So,
Right.
and if you go to SHIMA show, probably you will see next year, the PPF companies are huge,
Mhm.
and so, yeah, we're trying to get involved into different sections of the automotive.
Mhm.
We are also uh, pretty close to launching a new sprayer um, for the more focus on the paint and body work.
Okay.
That traditionally has been focused more on solvent-based products, and
Mhm.
again with the development of the chemical manufacturers, and especially new regulations for VOCs, is
Mhm.
making manufacturers to change the formulas.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, and there is now a universal sprayer able to spray everything, so
Okay.
the market has faced a terrible problem. There's no sprayer for the new formulas. So we have been working the last year in trying to get a new sprayer for this business that is huge. All the collision repair, and then the body work, and it's
Mhm.
another section of the automotive. They use
Yeah.
a bunch of degreasers and in a very high dilution and low dilutions. So
Mhm.
it's apart from that, trigger sprayers has been also like something that we're trying to improve. We are working on foam canyons too. So there is a
Mhm.
bunch of things, too many things,
Right.
and
Right.
yeah, we will try to to. It's difficult, as I said, to launch a new product every year.
Yeah.
Uh, just that this year we launched the eFoam Pro 2, the uh,
Mhm.
the four units of the alkalines, the
Mm-hmm.
Alkaline Pro 12, the foam alkaline 12, the alkaline 1.5, and the alkaline Pro 2. So it's and at the end of the day, it's like, hey, you know what? I mean, it's just changing no, it's not just changing the color. It's trying the new materials and
Mm-hmm.
new materials in new
Yeah.
parts of the sprayer. Sometimes the materials they don't work in the same way that the other materials we use for, like the Python, for example. So
Mm-hmm.
takes time, and
Right.
then the development of a packaging. So all things that you think like it's like magic, you do it like that. No,
Right.
it takes time.
Right.
So
Mm-hmm.
we always, and that was one of the most interesting things, of
Yeah.
being in direct contact with chemical manufacturers like Optimum Car Care. Is like every time that they have a need or they have an idea, we are close to them, so we can try to find a solution, so
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, we thank you so much for your time, and we appreciate taking a little time out of your very busy schedule, trying to meet all of our needs. Even it just the small sector of the detailing world, as far as your company is concerned. You'll just wanted to bring up in the fall in Portland, NASCAR's heading to Portland, and IK is going to be connected to being on one of the advertised on one of the cars. Wondered if you wanted to share a couple minutes about that.
Oh, I was so excited. I mean, I didn't even think about it, but when they Don and David, they told us about there was an opportunity to participate in that. I mean, we never thought about it. It's like I mean, I know it's not the first division of NASCAR, and it's not the Formula One, but it's just the first step. We'll see. It's an experience. It's like. We that's the kind of sponsorships are also new for us, and how, because well, we have been in projects like Optimum has been like in the Air Force One, for example, in the detailing for the last 5 to 6 years. So we love to and it's time to show our brand, and as I said, I mean, they are not detailers, they are like racing cars, and the needs are similar sometimes, but sometimes are different. So why not? It's probably an opportunity to show our brand, and they get people create some interest, and say, well, what is IK? So we are so excited.
Absolutely.
We will try, even though, I mean, it's the end of August. Not sure if we are going to be here, because we have a pending trip to Europe. But if I hope we can join the team in Portland.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Well, thanks again for hopping on. Did you have any last minute things you wanted to share with the detailing community?
For my side, no, I mean, I'm so thankful for the detailing community. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's great. Feel free. I also invite not everybody, to every question they have, every idea, to send it through our website. I think to double check our website, you have on top of the website, you have a tag called, like, in the menu, virtual booth. So you can click on it, and you will see all the sprayers we have, as in a trade show. So you will see so you can click on each one, you can download all the information, chemical compatibility, the breakdown of the sprayer with all the spare parts. That's one of the interesting things of IK, that we have all the maintenance kits, all the spare parts, so you don't really need to buy a new sprayer every time. You can service it, and then you can buy accessories. So it's a pretty interesting point to get knowledge and to get information about the line. And again, we are so thankful for the detailers. They're great. They are one of our most important industries in the world. So here we are.
Wonderful. Great. Well, this has been a great conversation, and we're looking forward. We'd love to have you on in the future. Check in with you, see how the new developments are going along, and until then, we hope you have a great. Hope your summer continues to go really well, and we'll talk soon.
Thank you for having me, Jacob and Tag. Been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks.